Chiu didn't hesitate for a moment and agreed to fight for it. However, Jung interfered and scolded both of them because of their despicable behavior as teammates. She asked them what the problem was between them. Chiu replied immediately that she wanted to have the ring because it wasn't suitable for Yu. Jang asked her whether she would be able to find a much better spirit ring with a mental attribute for Yu-Hu, as it was extremely rare. Chiu looked at Yu-Hu and asked him whether he believed in her. She offered that if she couldn't find a much suitable ring for him, then she would give her life to him. Indeed, it was a huge gamble, and Yu-Hu somehow knew that she wasn't kidding. Hence, he believed in her and allowed her to absorb the Baboon King ring. Dong was shocked by Yu-Hu's quick decision and asked him why he allowed her right away. Yu-Hu held her hand and pulled her toward himself and said that as Chiu was insisting so much, it would be better to believe in her this once. Chiu didn't say anything and quickly sat near the beast to absorb it. While she was preparing herself to absorb such a huge beast, Jung asked her whether she could absorb it. Chiu just nodded and started her spirit ring absorbing technique. Suddenly, a huge golden dragon appeared before Jung's eyes and started to absorb the Baboon King with 50,000 years of cultivation with ease. Jung realized that the question wasn't about whether she could absorb it, it was whether she wanted to absorb it. Because Chiu's body strength and mental power were so strong that she could easily absorb the beast with 100,000 years of cultivation in a matter of time. Moreover, she was making it look so effortless, even though she had only 5 rings before. Other than her body strength, her martial soul also ultimately pressured the Red Blood Baboon King spirit essence. While Chiu was absorbing the ring, Yu-Hu and Dong sat together to spend some time together. While chatting, Dong asked Yu-Hu whether he truly believed that Chiu would find the better ring for him. He replied that he knew she wouldn't lie. Seeing him having such a strong belief in Chiu, Dong got jealous and asked him to promise her that he won't get closer to Chiu. Yu-Hu asked her whether she didn't have any faith in herself. She replied angrily that Chiu would never look at such an ugly guy like him. He laughed it off and told her that he wouldn't mind being ugly if she liked him anyway. However, Dong wasn't convinced enough and asked one more time whether she was prettier than Chiu. Yu-Hu looked into her eyes sincerely and said that there were only 2 types of girls for him in the world. One type was her, who he loved, and the other type were all the other girls, who looked the same to him. Dong was more than happy to hear his thoughts and clung to him even more. She truly had no immunity to his words whatsoever. After some time, they saw that Chiu finished absorbing the ring within just 3 hours. They were extremely surprised by her physical and mental strength. After Chiu came back to her senses, she looked at Yu-Hu and nodded. That nodding caused a great commotion in Dong's heart, and she jumped at Yu-Hu to obtain answers for her nodding to her. Yu-Hu tried too much to calm her down, but when she wasn't calmed down by anything, Yu-Hu explained everything to her that happened last night, including the stolen biscuits and reminiscing his mother's memories. Dong finally calmed down and apologized for misunderstanding him. She also said that if one day they were going to starve and there was only 1 biscuit left, then she would eat it to survive a little longer than giving it to him. Yu-Hu was shocked by her answer, but he couldn't say anything. She explained herself that it was because she wanted to stay by his side a little longer than him. She wanted him to die later than her, so he wouldn't have to grieve for her in his last moments. Her answer lit up Yu's heart, and true love for her was reflecting from his eyes. The next morning, all of them continued their journey. Jang once again asked Chiu whether she would be able to find a suitable spirit beast for Yu. She nodded and said that she knew where the powerful beast resides in this forest because she had lived in the forest for about 1 year to train. Jang was shocked by hearing that, because holding out for a whole year in the forest where 5 of the world's top 10 spirit beasts lived was crazy. A strong spirit user might hold out for a day or 2 or even a week, but holding out for an entire year was unbelievable, because she had to defeat strong spirit beasts along with Nightwalkers too. However, Chiu confirmed once again and cleared Jang's doubts that she was there for a year. Jang admired her efforts and knew that to gain formidable strength one must be willing to go to such lengths. While they were heading forward, Yu-Hu sensed danger ahead and conveyed the message to his comrades too. Jang told everyone to stay on their guard. Yu-Hu continued to observe the movement and found out that it was a group of spirit beasts. Jang told everyone that they were dark attributed spirit beasts with strong attack power and were called black leopards. Yu housed his mental instructions power and sensed that the leopards had already found them and were trying to trap them. Jing told everyone that if they engaged in a fight with the leopards, then the fight would be endless. However, Chiu stepped forward and asked them to let her act as bait because she had fought the leopards before as well. Zheng strongly opposed the idea because it was dangerous to split while fighting such powerful beasts. But she didn't listen and said that she would be fine if Yu-Hu fought alongside her using his mental trap ability. She then summoned forth a golden spear, which had a very blinding glow and exuded a strong breath of life. She suddenly charged at the leopards, leaving Yu, who was originally assisting her, behind. Yoo-hoo quickly went to assist her by using his spirit shock technique, which paralyzed the leopards for a moment. That time was more than enough for Chu to get closer and attack. Her single swing of the spear sliced almost half of the leopards, while the others tried to run away. However, she didn't allow them and threw her spear at them, annihilating them in an instant. By seeing her defeat the leopards so easily, the rest of the team was unsure whether she wasn't good at anything. She then calmly came back and regrouped with her team. Zheng asked her whether she wanted to rest a bit before going onward. She refused to take a break and started to continue their journey. However, before they could start walking, Zheng stopped and asked Chu whether her weapon was related to her soul beast, as it was her blind guess. Chu confirmed her guess and said that her weapon was known as the Golden Dragon Spear, and it was a family heirloom. Yoo-hoo thought for a moment and curiously asked her whether it was related to the actual Golden Dragon. He further explained his theory that the legend said that the Golden Dragon had 49 rib bones, whereas its descendants had 48, and the odd rib bone was considered to be the reason for the Golden Dragon to become the Dragon Lord in the future. Before he could say anything else, Chu praised him, saying that she didn't know that he had so much knowledge. She confirmed his intuition that the Golden Dragon Spear was indeed the 49th bone of the Golden Dragon's ribcage. Everyone was surprised that she had such a rare and great weapon. Mo Xuan suddenly saw that the leopards killed by Chu were evaporating and were going to disappear soon. Chu told everyone that it happened because her spear absorbed the spirit energy out of the leopards, which acted as nutrients for the spear, and also provided a part of it in the fight. However, Zheng told her to not casually use the spear in front of everyone and also told her to show it only to the people she trusted. Chu replied that it wouldn't be an issue because the spear was the pride of the Dragon Lord. Therefore, no one except a person with the Golden Dragon spirit essence could use it. She said if anyone else touched it, it would absorb their spiritual energy. If it weren't for her, it would have absorbed the spiritual energy from everything in a 50-meter radius, including the grass. After absorbing enough energy, it would summon a golden dragon spirit to take it far away, and if it found a golden dragon on its way, then it would become its 49th bone, which would make the dragon the possible Dragon Lord. Yoo-hoo was very impressed by her because she was wielding such a powerful weapon with ease. However, it also meant that she was the only one who could wield it. After continuing their hunt, suddenly everyone felt an ominous aura in the air. They noticed that the evil aura wasn't from a beast, but from someone else. However, their spiritual energy was much more ferocious than that of the spirit beasts. Zheng and Ruo immediately unleashed their spirit techniques and vaporized the leftover bodies of the leopards to hide their smell. However, there was still some smell in the air, which attracted those evil beings. Upon coming closer, everyone saw that the evil aura was originally emitting from 3 evil spirit masters. The spirit masters came near them and asked where they were from. Zheng replied that they belonged to Yue Zhuozong from the Heavenly Soul Empire. The evil spirit masters were intrigued and asked everyone to show their spirit rings to them, as they knew that Zheng and her team couldn't be weak if they were strolling in the forest. Everyone was confused that those 3 were directly asking them to show their spirit rings just when they met each other. Suddenly a voice came from behind, saying that asking the weak to show their spirit rings was bullying and was extremely overbearing. It was Mrs. Kai, who had been following Zheng's team all the time in the shadows. Yi and others were glad to see her stepping forward in such situations. However, the evil masters didn't back off and asked even Mrs. Kai to show her spirit rings. Mrs. Kai sarcastically replied that they had to show her whether they were qualified enough to see her rings. They immediately attacked her to show their qualifications. Mrs. Kai quickly unleashed her spirit ring to counter their attacks. When the evil masters saw that, they realized that she was an 8-ringed spirit master, which was why she was so prideful. But they didn't stop and went under a transformation and also unleashed their level 8 guidance spirit devices. Having such destructive weapons in their arsenal was the reason they weren't afraid of death. They then told Mrs. Kai that they only wanted them to do some work for them, whether they were willing or not. When she asked them what they had to do, they laughed and told her to just follow them. Yoo-hoo and his team followed the evil masters deep into the forest. Yoo-hoo knew that Mrs. Kai was hiding her true abilities from the evil master to ensure everyone's safety. After covering some distance, they reached an open area where there was a cave in front of them. When Mrs. Kai asked them what to do, the evil masters replied that there was a spirit beast in the cave, so they had to lure it out and quickly kill it. Mrs. Kai was suspicious of their request, because to her, they didn't seem so weak that they didn't even have the strength to defeat a spirit beast. However, she agreed and played along for a while. One brother told the other to lure the spirit beast out. Thus, one evil spirit master used his attack filled with evil energy to lure the beast out. Yoo-hoo and the others knew that the situation was much more intense than they originally assumed. When the cave was attacked, a dark golden dreadclaw bear which had over 1,000 years of cultivation came out of the cave and counterattacked them. Yu-Hu was shocked to see that it was much bigger than the bear he and Xiao fought, and also its single attack sliced dozens of trees in an instant. However, after just a single attack, the bear went back to the cave. The evil master ordered Mrs. Kai to attack the bear and hold it in one place. She agreed and asked for some time to devise a strategy. The bear was extremely strong, and Mrs. Kai knew that they had no chance against it. To her, it seemed bizarre that the bear came out, attacked, and then went back without fighting more. She knew that the evil master had some ulterior motives. On the other hand, Yu-Hu noticed that the bear was acting like it was trying to protect something. Therefore, he decided to dig deep into the matter and reveal the evil master's true intentions. Thus, Yu-Hu used his mental instruction technique to locate what was inside the cave. He saw that there were stains of blood under Dreadclaw Bear's feet. Upon further spreading the technique range, he saw that the bear was actually protecting two infant bears. He shared his vision with his team, allowing them to see the baby bears too. All of them were disgusted by the evil spirit master's plan and decided to stop them immediately. Everyone realized that their main goal was to capture the young bears alive and tame them. Mrs. Kai signaled everyone to get ready to stop their plan. However, the evil masters unleashed the spirit of the male Dreadclaw Bear, which made the female bear, who was protecting the kids, go crazy. Everyone realized that it might be her husband, which the evil masters killed earlier. Ruo was confused as to why they needed their help if they could have defeated the female one too. After a while, she remembered that Wang once told them that Dreadclaw Bears were very prideful creatures. Therefore, if they found themselves in danger, they would devour their own children before they could be taken away. Yu-Hu told everyone that the evil master's plan was to engage them with the female bear while they would snatch the cubs. Everyone became furious, and Mrs. Kai urged them to attack the three evil masters. While everyone sneak attacked, the evil masters noticed their attack and decided to teach them a lesson. The one controlling the male bear spirit unleashed the bear toward them and countered their attack with destructive claws. Yu-Hu and the others were in great danger because on one side, they had to fight the male bear spirit, and on the other hand, the female bear was approaching them too. If somehow they managed to survive the two bears, then the evil masters would kill them immediately after getting a chance. They were trapped in a dangerous position and were trying to figure out the possible way to get out of the situation. As the bears were approaching them, Yu-Hu suddenly separated himself from his team and told them not to follow him because he didn't know whether his plan was going to work. His plan was to stop the bears from teaming up, thus he went straight to the female bear and lured her toward himself. While the female bear was charging toward him, suddenly Chu appeared in front of Yu-Hu and went to attack the bear head-on. Yu-Hu was shocked by her behavior, as it seemed suicidal to him for her to attack the bear with only her spear. He thought that despite how strong she was, there was no chance of her winning against the Dreadclaw Bear at its full strength. Therefore, he was left with no choice but to use the modified Level 7 Lightning Soul Guidance Cannon, which was given to him by second senior brother Kai before heading out for the Stardew Forest. He unleashed the cannon, recharged it, and straightly fired the Lightning Lord's Thunder Fury right toward the bear. Although he thought that by his attack, Chu would also get some injuries, he didn't have any other choice. The lightning passed Chu without injuring her, and struck the female bear in the chest. After the bear collapsed, it was now time to launch the cannon's Phase 2 attack to stop the evil masters who were heading toward the cave. Yu-Hu knew that the evil masters wouldn't dodge the lightning bolt, and because of their greed, they wouldn't let the lightning strike the cave, which was right behind them. As expected, the evil master didn't dodge the attack and unleashed the true martial soul body, which was the underworld python. The python took the bait and released the shield of 1,000 ghosts. However, the lightning bolts pierced right through their shield and continued to head for them. While they were being attacked by the lightning, Yu-Hu sneaked into the cave and looked for the cubs. When he found the cubs, the evil masters also managed to get to the cave. They knew that someone was already in the cave because they were sensing a stranger's energy. Meanwhile, Yu-Hu was trying to figure out how he would escape with those two cubs. Suddenly, the cubs also started to run away. Unknowingly, Yu-Hu used his Snow Empress's ability to freeze the cubs. He apologized to the cubs for his mistakes, but it was somehow convenient for him to put them in the soul storage device while they were being frozen to ice. Suddenly, Yu-Hu heard the evil master's voices, and thus decided to hide away. When the evil masters entered the cave, Yu-Hu hid himself using the illusion technique on the roof of the cave just above them. The evil masters saw that the cubs were missing and also the cave was empty, therefore they decided to go out and search for the culprit. Yu-Hu was relieved to hear that they were going back. However, one of them said that he still sensed the odor of someone in the cave, thus he unleashed his hundreds of tiny spirits to thoroughly check the cave. Yu-Hu was completely sure that he was doomed. He had only two choices, either to take a risk and run out of the cave, or to fight them head-on. He figured out that either way he was going to die, so he decided to at least give a good fight. When he was about to jump down from the ceiling, suddenly the female bear barged into the cave. The evil masters and also Yi were surprised by the female bear's sudden appearance. The evil spirit master attacked the female bear with their spirits. However, a golden spear pierced through their spirit attack. Yu-Hu was shocked to see the spear because it belonged to Chiu. Upon closer look, Chiu was standing over the female bear and fighting alongside her.